Alright. Hey there, everyone. This is Chaotic Teal, and I felt like doing a one-off today. So, I've made pretty darn clear how heavily I have been hyperfixating on the Sonic series. And I figured I would kind of go in on that with a couple of Sonic tier lists. This actually wasn't the one I wanted to do first. I wanted to start with the Sonic level tier list maker. We've got levels from pretty much every game up through Forces and Mania. No Frontiers, no Superstars, no Dream Team, which is fine because I haven't played the latter two and I haven't finished the former. Just to cover bases here, we're going to add a row here. Haven't played or don't remember. As while at this point, I have played a significant portion of the Sonic series. I haven't played every game, and I don't remember all of the levels in every game I have played. Set this somewhere that it's not right by my coffee. My Game Boy's already been chewed on by a dog. I don't need it to get coffee spilled on it too. Okay, so starting things off with Sonic 1. I'm not going to go into my opinions on the game because there's a separate tier list for that. But all things considered, Green Hill Zone is a solid start to the series. I wouldn't put it higher than A rank, because despite being the first level in the series, there's plenty of room for the games to go higher. But it's a solid one. It's got staying power. Actually, I wonder if I should try and grab... Oh, wow, this does actually include... Black Knight and Secret Rings. I'm trying to figure out if I can easily identify favorite and least favorite levels as reference points. What do I consider to be peak Sonic design? Okay, asking that question, there's a clear answer. City Escape is genuinely a fantastic level. It stays on theme really well. The design is solid. It has enough variety to be interesting and enough set pieces to keep attention without over-relying on them. And it's just fun. Now, what I would consider the absolute worst Sonic level that I have played. There's one I have in mind, but I want to see if I feel strongly about any others. Honestly, Mad Space is a contender here. Just for... Oh, my cursor's not visible. Let's change that. Uh-oh. Oh no, I broke it. Oh, is it just because... Okay, I think it's a title. It's a title issue. Oh, my cursor is visible. Wahoo. Anyway. Mad Space is a bit of a mess. I have some opinions about some of the levels in Sonic Advance as well. I've alluded to that at the very least. Sonic Heroes has some rough levels. But what is the worst? You know what? I'm gonna go with Labyrinth Zone. Labyrinth Zone is just a combination of maze and water level and Sonic 1 jank. It's a pain, and everyone who has played Sonic 1 knows that Labyrinth Zone is a pain. I may wind up moving other zones around underneath it, we'll see, but for now, on a scale of City Escape to Labyrinth Zone, how do I feel about every level in the Sonic franchise? Marble Zone, I actually like more than Green Hill. I think I'll put it in upper A tier. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the mix between the brighter colors on the surface and the purples and oranges in the underground. It does involve a fair amount of waiting, which I think tends to be a flaw in Sonic games. It can be done well, but generally I would not call waiting a positive point with Sonic level design. But Marble Zone is good. I have very few opinions about Spring Yard Zone. It is one of the levels in Sonic 1. Starlight Zone I really like. I love the music in Starlight Zone. I think it's got interesting obstacles. Yeah, I think we're gonna move those down a little bit, just because my overall opinion on the level design in Sonic 1 is negative. It is... I mean, it's the first game in the series. Green Hill is solid. Marble Zone is good. Starlight, Spring Yard... I'm gonna put Scrap Brain a little lower, mostly because of Act 3 just being Labyrinth Zone 2. Final Zone will go above Scrap Brain, just because it's just a boss. The boss is fine. Definitely not the best final boss in a Sonic game by any stretch, but fine. I have not played the Game Gear Sonic 1 or Sonic 2. I've done research on both. But I have not played either of them, so I don't feel like I can reasonably rank them. Emerald Hill. I like Emerald Hill more than Green Hill. I don't know if that's a hot take, but Sonic 2 has better level design than Sonic 1. Pretty much across the board. Chemical Plant, also good. I'll actually put that top of A rank for now. If we'll just there. Aquatic Ruin, that can go here. It is decent. Just another kind of I don't have an opinion on this level. Casino Night, though. Casino Night, Spring Yard kind of started the Carnival Casino theme in Sonic games, but Casino Night was the first one that really leaned into that. I really like the Carnival Casino theme, in part because it's not a common level theme in platformers. I mean, Green Hill is just the name of an archetype of level at this point, based on Green Hill Zone in Sonic 1. The kind of grassy plains level. Ruins, water level, mechanical level, city level even. Those are all common themes, but only the Sonic series really has a lot of carnival or casino themed levels, and I love that. Winged Fortress Zone is quite good as well. It has its frustrating moments, but it's an interesting one. It was the first airship kind of level in a Sonic game. Solid one. Nah, I'm putting Death Egg in D. Don't get me wrong, the final boss of Sonic 2 is an interesting fight. It is challenging. I don't have anything against the final boss of Sonic 2. Except that the final boss of Sonic 2 has no rings. And To a point, that is a get good kind of issue. But if I had played Sonic 2 outside of Sonic Origins, I don't think I could have beaten it, because it takes so much trial, error, and experimentation to figure out the patterns of both Mechasonic, I think that's Mechasonic, I'm fairly certain that's Mechasonic, and the Death Egg robot. And you do not have any breathing room from rings. So you have to figure out the patterns of two bosses, one of whom has an extremely narrow window to damage it. And you can't take a hit. And if you run out of lives in a non-Sonic Origins one, you just have to restart the game. I don't like my time being wasted. Hilltop Zone is pretty good, but it loses points because I find the music annoying. Mystic Cave is cool, though. We're gonna overlook the Pit of Death that Mystic Cave includes in the original release. There's one particular spike pit that is deep enough that if you fall in, you can't jump back out. So if you fall in as Supersonic, you just have to stand there until you run out of rings. They actually, not only did they change that in later releases, but they used it as an entry point into a previously unused level. My dog is in here, by the way. Decided to try having dog in room while streaming, and wanted to do that in a one-off. But yeah, they used the Spike Pit of Doom in re-releases to implement the Hidden Palace Zone that was unused in Sonic 2 initially. So that's pretty neat. Oil Ocean. I don't have a lot of opinions on it. It's not one of my favorites, so it can just go there. Metropolis Zone can get a high C tier. It is interesting, it is challenging. I don't have many other opinions on it. Sky Chase gets some points for originality. It is another just interesting and different level. Right, I think I dropped salmon on that. Hello. You're such a mess. Yeah, Sky Chase takes place entirely on the wings of the tornado, which is super cool. I like that a lot. I have not played Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, and neither has anybody else. I'd like to play it, though. It's just never been localized and difficult to emulate or re-release because it uses a trackball. It was an arcade game. Sonic CD. My second favorite of the Genesis-era Sonic games. I think I put Palm Tree Panic above Green Hill, but below Emerald Hill. It is a solid first level, and I have very little else to say about it. I don't really have any opinions on Collision Chaos. We'll kind of... I'm going to put it there. Tidal Tempest can go a little bit lower. Well, I really just don't have many thoughts about the mid-game levels of Sonic CD. I like the general theming of Quartz Quadrant. Wacky Workbench is a tricky level, but it's got some fun gimmicks, so that gets up there. Stardust Speedway is the one level that anyone actually remembers from Sonic CD, and there's a reason for that. It can get an A tier. It's a good balance of difficult and interesting. It is fun to play. It's got a very brassy visual theme, which is interesting. And of course, music is good, Metal Sonic Fight is good. Metallic Madness... it doesn't rank as high as Stardust Speedway. I think I can reasonably put it there. Solid final level. Not much else to say. Have not played Sonic Chaos. I think Mecha Green Hill is interesting, though, because it's a roboticized version of the Game Gear, the earlier Game Gear Green Hill Zone. So that's cool. Sonic Spinball. I can say with certainty that I have not gotten to the last couple of levels, nor have I actually played through the 8-bit version. That's a song from Advance 3, and I have not played that one yet. You know what? Toxic Caves makes its way into B tier solely for the music. Lava Powerhouse can go here. The level design is not one of the things that I remember about Sonic Spinball. Angel Island Zone. Highest ranked first level out of the Genesis games. It's distinct from the other ones, where I feel like Emerald Hill, Palm Tree Panic, and Green Hill all kind of blend together visually. You can still distinguish them, but they are very similar from a color scheme perspective, thematically, and Angel Island does some different stuff. It also gets points for introducing Angel Island, which is a major location in the franchise, and for having a radical change into Act 2, wherein the forest is on fire. So, Angel Island ranks high. I should note that I don't really consider Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles separately. Partly because I never played them separately. I have played Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But it's also just... they're two halves of a complete game. I might feel more strongly about them had I played them when they were new, but they predate me. Hydrocity Zone, or Hydrocity Zone, depending on how Megamind you feel. Definitely one of the better water levels in the classic games. So it's definitely going above Tidal Tempest, above Aquatic Ruin. Actually, yeah, that seems about right for it. I think it loses some points subconsciously because when I played Sonic 3 as a kid, that was where I got stuck. Which says a lot about how well I played 2D Sonic games as a kid. I've only recently started to get decent at them. Marble Garden is cool. I like Marble Garden a lot. It might edge out Marble Zone from the original. It's got some cool gimmicks, it's got terrain changes mid-level. Carnival Night. Acknowledging the Barrel of Doom, Carnival Night is going in S tier. Casino Night is good, Carnival Night is the cooler Casino Night. Ice Cap Zone. Is that the first proper ice level in a Sonic game? Okay, there's an ice level in Sega Sonic. But in terms of the mainline games, it is the first ice level. We'll put it there. I'm partial to the older music compared to the newer replacement for it. It's honestly funny how many music-related rights issues plague the classic Sonic games. Because 1 and 2, the composer kept the rights to those, not Sega. And they lost some stuff from Sonic 3 because of the Jackson estate. Because Michael Jackson did some of the music for Sonic 3. Actually, they might have deliberately cut the Jackson tracks because of the public image changes to, well, surrounding Michael Jackson in the late 90s. I don't know as much about Michael Jackson as I probably should, and I think that it is reductive to view him only in the context of controversy, because there is a broader cultural context. But again, I do not have the information to speak intelligently on that subject, so that's as much as I'm going to say. Launch Base Zone. I like this one. High B tier. I like it more as kind of a midway point for Sonic 3 and Knuckles than I think I would like it as an ending point. I've also not played the multiplayer in Sonic 3. Mushroom Hill. Solidly okay. It's fine. It's got a distinct theme from other first levels. I just don't like that distinct theme as much. Flying Battery. I don't like this level. I think that it has a confusing flow, and some of the obstacles are just really obnoxious. So we'll put it there, and we'll move on. Sandopolis is super cool. And another first for mainline Sonic games. After being covered in Sega Sonic again. This is the first desert level in a mainline Sonic game. Once again, has some cool gimmicks, putting it right up there with Marble Garden. Lava Reef is a pain. I don't dislike it to the extent that I dislike Flying Battery. Wait, do I dislike the Flying Battery in Mania? Is that why I feel so negatively about Flying Battery? That's a possibility. I will not correct this. Low B tier for Lava Reef. Hidden Palace, though. I think we can give it high B tier. Below Metallic Madness. It's not a very long zone, but I really like the visual design. Sky Sanctuary. Yeah. There's a reason that Sky Sanctuary is one of the stages that has come back so much. It is a fantastic level theme. The music is incredible. It is climactic in the context of the game. Big fan of Sky Sanctuary. Not as big a fan of Death Egg Zone, but it is substantially better than the Sonic 2 Death Egg Zone or Scrap Brain. I think I'd actually put it above Metallic Madness. Don't get me wrong, it's an obnoxious level. But it is interesting and obnoxious. Doomsday Zone gets points for being the first supersonic final boss level. It's not much more than that, but I'm giving it points for being that. It's the first time that they made a level specifically for you to play it and fight a final Eggman creation as Supersonic. I have not played Sonic Triple Trouble. And I haven't played Knuckles Chaotix, but I love the color schemes in Knuckles Chaotix. It uses just aggressively vibrant colors that I could see being an eyesore, but I love them. Again, haven't played the Game Gear games. Want to. Should, because I do have access to them with Sonic Origins, Sonic Adventure DX. But have not played them yet. Also add Sonic Labyrinth to that list. I have not played Sonic the Fighters. I don't think that I would rank the levels particularly high if I had, because they're all just arenas. Sonic 3D Blast. I've played Green Grove. It sure is. Sonic Normal Blast. Have not played. I have not played Sonic R. I love the visual design of Radiant Emerald, though. Radiant Emerald is a fantastic level. Again, from a visual perspective. I have seen it played through, I have not played through it myself. Emerald Coast. Yeah, honestly, S rank. I am extremely biased because Sonic Adventure was my first game. My first Sonic game. But Emerald Coast established what a 3D Sonic game could be. There are better 3D Sonic levels, for sure. But like Green Hill Zone, it was the first of its kind. And unlike Green Hill Zone, it just stands out to me. I mean, the Orca Chase has continued to get references in games since then. The music is excellent, and I just really like Emerald Coast. Windy Valley, I have less strong opinions about. It falls more into the Green Hill category for me. It can go in A rank. It can go in A rank, but mid A rank. Casinopolis is not as good as B rank. Yeah, that's fine for Windy Valley. Casinopolis is not as good as Casino Night or Carnival Night, but it gets originality points. I like playing pinball. Ice Cap. Honestly, Ice Cap loses points for me because the interior section is really easy to lose progress in, and I have been deeply wounded by the snowboarding section solely because of the Tails mission in Sonic Adventure DX, where you have to collect like 20 flags on the way down. And the trouble here is you cannot go back in the snowboarding section, and you cannot lose to Sonic before you collect all of the flags. This was the mission that kept me from 100%ing Sonic Adventure for years. I didn't do it until undergrad. And I played Sonic Adventure the first time when I was like 12. I like Ice Cap Zone or Ice Cap in Adventure just fine. Can we limit the digging on my quilt? Thank you. Good boy. But yeah, it loses points for negative association. Twinkle Park. One of the levels in Sonic Adventure. It's not bad, I just don't have particularly strong feelings about it. Speed Highway. I don't think I like Speed Highway as much as other people do, but I can't deny that it is an incredibly noteworthy level. Particularly, not even for Sonic's Speed Highway, but Tails' Speed Highway. As the first time that Tails directly confronts Dr. Eggman on his own. It gets points for that. That's gonna bring it up a couple. Red Mountain. Red Mountain is implied to be where Lava Reef exists. Red Mountain is one of a couple of levels that are on Angel Island in Adventure, alongside Ice Cap, which is just... it's just Ice Cap. I have a weird fondness for Red Mountain. I don't know why. I just really like Red Mountain. Skydeck, though, is probably my favorite level in Sonic Adventure. When I think of Sonic Adventure 1, I think of Skydeck, and that's both music and theming. It's got, again, really interesting set pieces that give you reason to approach the level differently. Particularly in the later portion of the level where you have, as Sonic, the deck, like, rotating. And there's the added comedy of, maybe that's Knuckles' fault. Lost World ranks fairly high for me because it is the level that I first played in Sonic Adventure. My friend who introduced me to the game was stuck on the level, I played through it, and that was what hooked me. I am a Sonic fan because of this level. It's not that good of a level, if I'm honest. It does some interesting things, but it loses points for waiting because of the giant rock snake thing. Actually, it loses more points than I thought for the giant rock snake thing. We'll put it above Death Egg from Sonic 3. Final Egg. I like Final Egg a lot. I think we'll put it with Launch Base and Doomsday Zone. It's Sonic's final level. I want to say it's Amy's final level? Maybe it's Amy's second to last level. No, I think it is Amy's final. And it's Gamma's first level. And I love that contrast. It also, again, just has really good music. I don't have a lot of opinions on Hot Shelter. Certainly fits the category of one of the levels in Sonic Adventure. Sky Chase 1. Again, I don't have a lot of opinions on it. I think it's neat that they brought in these Sky Chases as callbacks to Sonic 2. I don't think that the Panzer Dragoon style gameplay is as interesting as the Sonic 2 Sky Chase Zone, but they're solid. I have even fewer opinions on Sand Hill. It is the snowboarding section of Ice Cap, but sand. No, we'll put that here, but I'm going to move Sky Chase 2 above Sky Chase 1. I have not played Sonic Pocket Adventure. Sonic Pocket Adventure will never get re-released. It doesn't exist. It is the only game they weren't allowed to reference in the encyclopedia. I've not played Sonic Shuffle. Wild Canyon. It's the first Knuckles level. Solidly a level. I don't know, we're putting it in C tier. B tier's getting real crowded. Prison Lane I like more. We'll put that above Hot Shelter. Metal Harbor is really good. It doesn't hit the high points of City Escape, but as the second level that we actually get to play as Sonic in, it's a good one. Green Forest is interesting because it has that time limit. Beyond that, it's pretty much just a forest level. Yeah, we'll put it about there. Pumpkin Hill. Probably the best Knuckles level in Adventure 2. But I don't like the treasure hunting levels in Adventure 2 very much. We're putting it above Twinkle Park. Nah, we're putting it right below Hot Shelter. It's good. It's just that the Knuckles and Rouge levels are a pain. Mission Street. Second level you play as Tails. You get the booster here. You fight the government. But you do that for a good portion of Sonic Adventure 2. No. I don't like Aquatic Mine. I'm also not a huge fan of the kart racing levels. They're fine, but they're only fine. Hidden Base is a Tails level. Yeah? He's got opinions on Hidden Base. Whoop. I might have to start migrating stuff to C rank. You wanna go, buddy? What thoughts have you? Do you have any thoughts on Pyramid Cave? I have thoughts on Pyramid Cave. Those thoughts are, I don't like Pyramid Cave. It can go there. Death Chamber. That's the one where you're hunting for keys as Knuckles. And probably my least favorite Knuckles level. What you thinking, buddy? You gonna settle back in, or do you want to go? He is notably undecided. I think he wants to go. Give me just a sec. Okay. Eternal Engine. Yeah, that's the last Tails level. All of the levels on the Arc are complex. I don't dislike them. Yeah, we'll put Eternal Engine there. It's a pretty good level. It's just difficult. Meteor Herd goes there. It's Knuckles' Mad Space. It is called that because it makes you mad and it is in space. Where do I want to put Crazy Gadget? I think I'll put it here. Nah, I'll put it above Lost World. Crazy Gadget is a solid stage. It is not as good as Final Rush, though. Okay, you're not better than Stardust Speedway. Don't let it go to your head. But Final Rush is difficult as fitting for the final level in the hero campaign. It's thematically interesting. It has nice parallels with Final Chase, which is Shadow's last level. Iron Gate. Another one of the levels in Sonic Adventure 2. I think I'm actually going to start dropping some stuff to C tier. And we'll move Aquatic Mine down to D tier. I don't like Aquatic Mine. Sky Lagoon. That is Rouge's first level. I don't have substantially different feelings between it and Wild Canyon. It's just a first treasure hunter level. Sand Ocean is annoying. That's Eggman's level with Quicksand. You get the booster here, I think. But I don't know. We'll put it with Hidden Base. Radical Highway is up there. I'm gonna put it at the top of A rank. It's noteworthy for being the first level where you get to play as Shadow. The Golden Gate Bridge is an extremely strong point for the theming. And I mean, it's where the opening cinematic takes place. It's got a lot going for it. Lost Colony. I think I'll put this one here-ish. I don't like it as much as Eternal Engine, but it's still a pretty good stage. Weapons Bed is another Eggman stage. Gonna put it in one of the levels of all time tier. Security Hall is far and away the best treasure hunting level in Sonic Adventure 2. The time limit can be frustrating, but actively going through the process of a heist and, in a relatively unprecedented move, acquiring 3 Chaos Emeralds in one level, it gets points for that. My feelings on White Jungle are the same as Green Forest. And my feelings on Route 280, is that an 8? Are the same as my feelings on Route 101. They sure do exist. Skyrail's pretty cool. Put that next to Ice Cap. No. Next question. I actually do like Cosmic Wall a lot. Yeah, I think we'll put it with Crazy Gadget. Second to last level in both cases. It's super cool. Final Chase goes up with Final Rush. They're similar thematically, but they do have different mechanics going on. And again, the narrative parallels between the two are meaningful, to say the least. I'm actually going to put Cannon's Core in S rank. Bottom of S rank for right now. But the fact that it is one level that spans every character in the game except for Shadow, and then leads into a Shadow boss fight, that's really cool. It's not an easy level by any means, but it's the last level in the game. Green Hill exists. I have not unlocked it in Sonic Adventure 2. Okay, now we're into Sonic Advance. Neo Green Hill is solidly one of the levels. I'm actually going to put it at the top of C tier. It's not bad, it's not good, it just is. I really like the theme of Secret Base Zone. That gets it some definite points. We'll put it right above Hydra City Zone. Casino Paradise Zone is also really good. Another casino-themed level, I tend to like those. The boss is a pain. We'll put it here. Ice Mountain. I don't have strong feelings on this one, but I don't have positive feelings on this one, so it's going right there. I like this game's Angel Island a fair bit. I don't think I like it as much as Casino Paradise. We'll put it just below Pumpkin Hill. It's interesting, it's got a distinct theme from Sonic 3's Angel Island Zone that sort of combines the Angel Island with Sky Sanctuary theming. It's solid. Egg Rocket. This one's going in the bottom of A tier. It suffers from the dubious design decisions that Sonic Advance carries. It's got a lot of enemies in the way of jumps that you cannot see until you make them, and springs in most Sonic games launch you in an uncurled state, so you don't deal damage, you take damage if you collide with an enemy after being launched from a spring. But Egg Rocket has extremely good music, and thematically, it's split up into, I think, generously four sections, and each section breaks off of the rocket as it's taking off. So you have a strict time limit to get through each section, so you don't get left behind by the rocket. It's a really cool and novel concept for a level, so it gets a lot of points for that. Cosmic Angel Zone does not get the same amount of points for that. It's going in D tier, because it has all of the unfair object placement and none of the cool theming and not as good music. X Zone is the normal final boss for Sonic Advance. It's probably the least interesting final boss that I have played in a Sonic adventure, or in a Sonic game. It gets some points for bringing back the first bosses of Sonic 1 and 2 and carrying remixes of their boss themes with it. But the actual Sonic Advance final boss here is just tedious. It's only ever vulnerable for a brief window. It is rarely safe in that vulnerability to actually attack it. And most of its attacks you can dodge standing still. I don't like it. The Moon Zone doesn't fare much better. Actually, I think it's worse. Because the Moon Zone is the Sonic Advance Supersonic fight. And it's the least fun that I have had playing as Supersonic in any Sonic game. The boss is only vulnerable on the head, which is this part of this whole thing. If you hit any other part, you just get knocked back. You can only get rings from basic enemies that the boss throws out, that if you mess up the attack on them, they will grab you and you have to break free, which wastes more time. And they just kind of give you a burst of rings. So waiting for one to come out, taking care of it, and gathering up all the rings, usually, at best, is a zero-sum interaction. Maybe you'll gain 1 or 2 rings from it, but it's just tedious. Again, I don't have anything against the Sonic Advance games in general, but they make some decisions. Speaking of decisions, Leaf Forest gets some points for not just being Green Hill Zone. It basically is, but it's distinct enough. I don't have opinions on Hot Crater. Music Plant is the most interesting level in Sonic Advance 2. It's got the bright colors that I like. It has a novel theme. Yeah, I can go there. I don't remember the rest enough to feel confident in ranking them. I have started playing through Sonic Advance 2 again, but I haven't gotten very far, because the true ending requirements for that are horrendous. Seagate goes in the no opinions positive zone. Of all of the levels in Sonic Heroes, it sure is one of them. I think Seaside Hill is the only one that I might actually dock points for overexposure. It's still a fine stage, but it debuted in Sonic Heroes. It was the Sonic Heroes representative in... Actually, I think Ocean Palace might have been the representative in Generations. Which gets more points because it's slightly more interesting. But considering the two together, Heroes, Generations, pretty much every racing game since then, both of them are separate zones in Sonic Dash. So I get a little tired of them. Grand Metropolis is neat. It's got a much more tech-heavy city theme compared to others. I don't have a distinct opinion on Grand Metropolis versus Power Plant. I like Casino Park and I like Bingo Highway. I think we'll put them there. Again, I always like the bright colors and the casino theming. Casino Park and Bingo Highway do some interesting things with those themes. The music's a little annoying, though. Rail Canyon and Bullet Station sure do exist. Derogatory. I'm realizing that I just do not have strong opinions on most of Sonic Heroes. I'll give Hang Castle some points for original theming, but it loses a similar amount of points for being really annoying. I'll be nicer to Egg Fleet and Final Fortress, though. They make for a pair of impressive and imposing final levels for Sonic Heroes. I have not played Sonic Advance 3. I will. I have it. But I have not played it. Now, all of the levels in Shadow the Hedgehog. Do I remember them? I remember Westopolis. We'll put Westopolis here. It gets extremely tedious going back through it every single time you want to play through Shadow the Hedgehog. But it's an alright level. Digital Circuit and Mad Matrix get A rank, low A rank, but still A rank, because they're novel. Again, brightly colored, I like that. And I just remember liking those levels. I do not remember Glyphic Canyon well enough, or Lethal Highway. Really, there are a lot of these that I don't... I guess I kind of remember Circus Park. It's one of the levels in Shadow the Hedgehog. The Doom and... The Doom and Lost Impact. I want to say those are the two levels in Shadow the Hedgehog that take place in flashbacks. And that's neat. Sky Troops is one of my favorite levels in Shadow. It's one of the level 2s, so it gets points for that, because I've played it more. But I just think that the combination of Ruin and Airship Fleet is interesting. Death Ruins. Top of D tier. I didn't like Death Romance. I don't remember the arc level. Air Fleet is a pain. Hello. Iron Jungle. The hero mission on Iron Jungle, if memory serves, is to take out Eggman's ship before it leaves. It is substantially more difficult than any of the other missions I attempted in Shadow the Hedgehog. Strong negative feelings about that. You are indeed the only one here. Welcome. Space Gadget. I don't remember. Guns Fortress I don't remember. I think I remember Black Comet well enough to put it in the one of the levels category. Lava Shelter is one of the final levels. That's really all I remember about it. Same for Cosmic Fall, same for Final Haunt. There are now 2 people. The Last Way is the final story for Shadow the Hedgehog. We'll give it a high C tier. I don't remember anything in Sonic Rush well enough to rank it. Sonic 06. How much of this game do I actually remember? I haven't finished it myself. We can give a solid one of the levels. Ah, yes. The Shadow Squishmallow is a fantastic companion to a Sonic levels tier list. I'm gonna bump up Last Way a bit. It's pretty neat. What the heck level did I just rank? Wave Ocean. Right. It gets points for being one of the earlier levels to call back to the Orca Chase in Sonic Adventure. Beyond that, it sure is a level in Sonic 06. I have no opinions on Dusty Desert. I have very slightly more favorable opinions of White Acropolis, but still just there. I I do like Crisis City a fair bit. I'll actually put that one up here with Casinopolis. It helps that it's the first level that you play with Silver. Silver's my favorite character. I don't remember Flame Core well enough. I don't remember Radical Train. Tropical Jungle. I'm gonna rank high, not because of the level itself, but because when my friend and I played Sonic 06 for the first time, we got to Tropical Jungle and just destroyed it with Silver. I have fond memories of it solely because of playing through it with my friend and just skipping to the end with Silver's abilities. I like Kingdom Valley. Kingdom Valley can go here. It's one of the more interesting levels in Sonic 06. Aquatic Base is kind of a pain, but I like the theme. So we'll put it here. And I have not played End of the World. I have not played Sonic Rivals. I need to, because that's Silver's canon introduction at this point. Secret Rings. Lost Prologue is cool. Across the board, Secret Rings has interesting level themes, regardless of how I feel about the structure of Secret Rings. It's not bad. Secret Rings is not a bad game. The controls certainly exist. I feel very neutral about Sand Oasis. That's probably one of the least interesting levels, only because it's the most straightforward theme. Sand Oasis is just a desert. I have so many more to rank. This is taking me longer than I thought it would. Dinosaur Jungle is one of the most distinct levels in Secret Rings. We'll put it under Security Hall. Like dinosaurs. My reasoning is very simple. Evil Foundry, another interesting level theme. It can sit with Black Comet. Levitated Ruin is a pain, but I like the concept of the level a lot. Put it with Lost Colony. In replaying Secret Rings, I have not gotten past Levitated Ruin, so I'm not going to rank any of these three. I do not remember Sonic Rush Adventure enough to rank it. I've played through it, but it's been a while. It does have some fun level themes, though. Again, have not played Sonic Rivals. I don't remember Sonic Unleashed enough to rank it. I played the Wii version like a decade ago, but have not played it since. So the one thing I do remember is not liking Eggman Land. Specifically the day. I don't have opinions on Sonic Chronicles. It sure is one of the Sonic games. And not a good one. It does some interesting things, but it is. I've not played the HD version of Sonic Unleashed. I hope to soon, but I have not thus far. Okay, Sonic and the Black Knight. I am extremely biased towards Sonic and the Black Knight. Misty Lake is the first level in the game. It is exactly what it sounds like. We'll put it here. I feel like it introduces the concept of Black Knight really well. Camelot Castle. Low A rank for this one, but higher than Dino Jungle because I like Black Knight more than Secret Rings. Again, novel theme, and it fits in really well with Black Knight in concept. Deep Woods, I have less strong feelings about. It's good, but it just kind of is. Titanic Plain, I feel kind of similarly. We'll put it here. I really like Crystal Cave, though. Put that at the top of B rank. Molten Mine is a pain. I really like the theme, though. We'll put it above Aquatic Base. Faraway Avalon is one of my favorite levels in Black Knight. Visually, narratively, it's a significant level. Knight's Passage is similar. I'm actually going to put that one above Chemical Plant. If you've played Black Knight, you know what happens in the story around Faraway Avalon and Knight's Passage. And it's extremely, extremely impactful. I think I like Shrouded Forest a little more than Deep Woods. The back half of the game is variations on the first half. So, similarly, I like Great Megalith a bit more than Titanic Plain. The Cauldron I feel pretty similarly about to Molten Mine. Could go either way. Dragon's Lair, though. Dragon's Lair goes way harder than it needs to. I'm getting upper mid A rank with that one, because you fight a dragon, and in an extreme demonstration of bias, I'm going to put Dark Hollow in SS tier, because the final boss of Sonic and the Black Knight is incredible. I am taking no notes. Sonic 4 is one of the games that exists. Sonic Colors. Okay, before we keep going, I'm going to look through and pick out the stuff that I don't have any feelings about. I haven't played Sonic Jump, or at least I haven't in a long time. I haven't played Sonic 4 Episode 2. I've played a lot of Sonic Dash recently, but the levels do not matter in Sonic Dash. I have not played Sonic Lost World. That is not a Lost World level. There we go. That was off by a row. I think it's funny that Yoshi's Island Zone and Legend of Zelda Zone exist. I haven't played the 3DS version of Lost World either. Oh, okay, that's the updated version of Sonic Jump. They really weren't kidding when they said all zones. I've not played any of the Sonic Boom games. So all of those go in the no opinion zone. Oh, we're on to Sonic Dash 2 Sonic Boom. Sonic Runners. I actually do want to pick that one up, but I haven't yet. Looks like it brings over a lot of levels from Sonic Lost World. Oh, and we're on to the second 3DS Sonic Boom game, which I've heard is actually fairly decent. We'll see about that. Oh, it's Sonic Runners Adventure that I want to pick. That's the one that is a single purchase and has a story. Okay, Sonic Mania I have actually played recently, and I have played Sonic Forces recently. So we've got Colors, Generations, and Mania and Forces. We can do this. I am getting tired, so I don't think we're going to go on to the other tier lists this time around. Tropical Resort is one of the better first levels in a Sonic game, in my opinion. We're actually going to put that in... We'll put it up here with Emerald Hill and Angel Island. Again, it introduces the tone and the setting of the game really well. I'm not a big fan of Sonic Colors, but I respect the visual and thematic design of it. I don't like Sweet Mountain that much. It's fine, but while I appreciate the Sweets theme, I don't like the music, and I don't feel particularly strongly about the level itself. Starlight Carnival, on the other hand, I love Starlight Carnival. Visually, it is one of my favorite zones in the franchise. Planet Wisp gets a lot of points as well. It's another one that's gotten used a lot since then, but there's a reason for that. I like Aquarium Park. One of the best water levels in the franchise. I think we'll give it an upper B rank. I just need to see where it's gonna go. It can go there. Asteroid Coaster. I don't have a lot of opinions about this one, but they are positive. We'll put it just above Sky Troops. Terminal Velocity gets points for the Nega-Wisp round, or Part 2 theme. We'll put it between Casino Park and Cosmic Wall. Gameland, I don't really have opinions on Gameland. I like the 8-bit style remixes of Sonic Colors music. Other than that, it sure does exist. I don't remember the DS levels enough to rank them separately. And actually, I don't remember the console Sonic Generations levels enough to feel like I can rank them. I replayed Sonic Generations on the 3DS recently. Oh, it is Seaside Hill, not Ocean Palace. The modern one definitely leans more into Ocean Palace, though. Anyway, I played 3DS Sonic Generations again recently, but I haven't played the console Sonic Generations in several years. That'll change because Shadow X Sonic Generations is coming out. So, this is actually only the second time that I'm ranking Green Hill, because all of the others aren't in consideration for me. And I'm gonna rank this one with the original. I'm not quite as fond of modern Green Hill, but it's still good. I think the Generations did justice to Green Hill Zone. I'm not as big a fan of its Casino Night Zone. We'll still put it reasonably high, but Casino Night has a lot of things in it that just disrupt you. I actually like the modern version a little bit more. Mushroom Hill might be the only case where I like the Sonic Generations version substantially more than the original. The modern one I like even more because I love fall colors, and I think that there aren't enough fall-themed levels in games. I'm extremely biased. I'm not even going to try to defend that one. I really like the 3DS Generations Emerald Coast. I don't feel as strongly positive about 3DS Generations Radical Highway. Particularly the classic one, solely because when I played through a few weeks ago, I went for S ranks on everything, and both versions of Radical Highway are so demanding for the S ranks. I like Generations Water Palace a lot, and some of that is bias due to Water Palace being the only proper portable game representation in what was allegedly a portable game focused release. Tropical Resort. I can't be that critical of them, but for anyone who's unaware, most of the handheld games in the Sonic series were handled by the same team, DIMPS. They worked from Sonic Advance through that series, Sonic Rush games, Sonic 4, and the DS version of Sonic Colors, and the 3DS version of Sonic Generations. Generally, Sonic Generations on 3DS is a marked improvement over the level design in Sonic Advance. Tropical Resort is the one case where I would say that is not true. It has a similar amount of just nonsense obstacle placement that drove me crazy replaying it. Okay, Sonic Mania. Extremely solid game. I would actually rank its Green Hill Zone higher than original. Only slightly, but I like Sonic Mania's Green Hill Zone a lot. And I think that it says a lot if I can rank the revisited levels around the same level, rank as the originals. Chemical Plant. You know what? Chemical Plant actually gets points for the boss fight. Chemical Plant uses Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as its final boss, as its boss, and it is super cool. Studiopolis Zone. I'm not the first to say this, and I will not be the last. Studiopolis Zone is incredible. I'm actually going to put that in S rank. The color scheme is vibrant. The level theme hadn't been done before, which is impressive with all of this. I don't like flying battery. Press Garden is one of my favorite levels in the Sonic series. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the design concept. I mean, again, when Sonic Mania does original levels, they are incredible. It does make me wish that they'd done a little bit less of the revisiting old level concepts. We'll put Stardust Speedway there. It has a pretty solid Stardust Speedway, but I don't think it compares to the original. I do not have strong opinions about Hydro City Zone, even Sonic Mania, but it gets some points above the original for reversing the boss fight. Mirage Saloon, A+. Not as good as Studiopolis or Press Garden, but still extremely good level. And it does the Sky Chase thing with the tornado in at least the first section. I like Mania's Oil Ocean more than I like Sonic 2's Oil Ocean, but that's not saying much. It is AO decent. A similar feeling with Mania's Lava Reef compared to Sonic 3 Lava Reef. I like it more than the original, but it doesn't stand out that much to me. Mania's Metallic Madness is pretty cool, though. I don't think it beats out the original, but it's up there. Titanic Monarch. We'll put it there. Solid theming, solid level design, and solid mechanics involved. I have not played Egg Reverie Zone because I have not gotten all the Chaos Emerald in Mania. Sonic Forces. How many of these levels do I have opinions on? Spaceport's okay. Prison Hall is interesting. It's unfortunate to end on the Sonic Forces levels because Sonic Forces doesn't have good levels. I am willing to make that blanket statement. I'll rank Arsenal Pyramid. Where the heck did I even put Spaceport? There. Arsenal Pyramid is better than Spaceport. Mostly because of Fist Bump. I actually do like the Casino Forest levels more. Enough that they get points based on the theme. But yeah, Sonic Forces Green Hill. You know what, I'm actually going to move some of this stuff up. The problem is that Sonic Forces reuses level geometry a lot. So, for instance, Ghost Town and Park Avenue, Sunset Heights, and Enemy Territory all use the same city area. There are different obstacles, but Eggman's facility is Aqua Road. I'm willing to give virtual reality a little bit more because it at least does something interesting with the level. But and I do like the Grand Metropolis, or the Metropolis-themed areas in Sonic Forces. But the Red Gate Bridge is probably my favorite area in Forces. Because it has a really interesting Metal Sonic fight. I'm probably being a little bit unfair to Forces. But actually, I'll give it a little more credit for Death Egg, because while Green Hill and Chemical Plant had both been brought back in both Generations and Mania, and done better in both cases, Death Egg actually hadn't been brought back. This is Death Egg based on Sonic 3 well, Sonic and Knuckles' final level. And it gets some points for that. Is there... Okay. I'm gonna rank Metropolitan Highway higher. Null Space gets some points because it's a visually interesting area, but it's underutilized badly. It's kind of tied in with Metropolitan Highway, and Metropolitan Highway is interesting. I like a lot of things about the Metropolis levels. I don't have any opinions on the last section of Forces other than I just don't like Iron Fortress. Angel Island Zone and Mania, though. That's okay. Whew. Okay, yeah, I am very tired and need to eat. And then I need to get homework done. So, here's my list. I could probably do some shifting, but there are too many levels for me to have strongly distinct feelings on all of them. I think I stand by most of my rankings. Some of them are higher or lower than I would consider the quality of the level, just based on personal experiences. But that's fine. It's my tier list. If you don't like it, you can make one yourself. At some point, perhaps I'll get back around to the character and game tier lists, both of which would probably be shorter than this was. Anyway, hopefully I'll get myself back into Sonic or Super Mario RPG soon. My brain is just so fixated on Sonic at the moment that doing something else is hard. But I'm not planning on dropping it. Sonic Frontiers is gonna keep going next Tuesday, though. That all said, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Later, everyone.